I just wanted to ask you a question about. I think Dr. Zakir Naik is pretty popular, was pretty popular in India, and still is, I think. Did you come across any of his material while
Oh,
you were
yes.
researching Islam?
That was the which you were constantly asking me about. What was the key point? Where did you actually move into it?
Yes.
Were you
Was
Okay.
saving
that
the best for the last? Okay.
so yeah, that was it, that because you don't get answers to it, and reincarnation, again, another, it's like another entire thing which is there in Hinduism. So yeah, I was just when because I was searching, reading books, listening to thinkers, authors. So there, when I came across, it was again a coincidence for me, where I came across Dr. Zakir Naik, and the way that dialogue was taking place, the questions which were being asked, I just felt that these are the kind of questions which I also had in mind. And the way in
Mhm.
which he was discussing, answering, resolving, it was making complete sense to me, that this is very, very logical. And the way in which he was using references, etc., that definitely appealed. And from there I thought that maybe here I could get my answer which I had been searching and looking for. So definitely I would say that was the striking point, which led me to search here
So
in this.
Alhamdulillah, Dr.
before
Zakir
this,
Naik, mashallah, he's
alhamdulillah.
motivated a lot of people to come to
Yeah.
Islam, a lot of Hindus in
Alhamdulillah.
particular, I would say, because I think it was this kind of this gaping. There was a gap, like people never really talked about this in public, and I think he
True.
was probably the first one to go and speak not only directly to the Hindus, but he would go, if I remember correctly, he would go like to the most populated Hindu area and speak right in the middle of that.
Alhamdulillah,
That
absolutely
is the
true.
kind of lion I would say he was, mashallah, who would go right in the middle of them and then speak to them
Mashallah.
openly and invite them openly, to the deen. He didn't put pressure on anyone, he didn't force anyone.
Never.
But the politicians had a different idea, I suppose. So we know,
True.
Alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah, he's still doing his dawah in from Malaysia, where he's currently residing, I think. And with the advent of YouTube, mashallah, you don't need to be geographically fixed at one place. You can be
Absolutely.
anywhere in the world and give your dawah still. And that's the
Absolutely.
beauty of this technology. Brothers and sisters in Islam, this is an opportunity which Allah has given you, that we are living in an era where there's no limits to whom you can communicate with nowadays. Alhamdulillah. I think I just want to make an announcement that Brother Mansoor will be a bit delayed because he's still at work. A lot of people asking where's Brother Mansoor. As for Brother Sam Dawa, unfortunately, he had an emergency in his family, so he will not be able to attend this stream. Inshallah, we'll get him at the in the next one on Hinduism.
Next
So yeah,
opportunity,
please
inshallah.
continue, Brother Muhammad. Yes.
Yeah, no, this is a perfect segue because I was going to ask about this, but I was going to say, so when was, and this is the key question, when was the first time out of all the possible paths that you could have taken, because you were searching, sister, you were looking everywhere, when was the first time that you said, I need to look at Islam? Christianity, I looked at Christianity, that isn't working. Hinduism, that isn't working. Maybe you looked at some other things, I don't know. But what was the first trigger
Trigger, kind of the
that,
trigger.
that
Yeah.
says maybe it's Islam?
Right. Not just Christianity, Hinduism, New Age religion, Sikhism, also
Mm,
Buddhism. So, wherever I thought I could, maybe, as I was telling you, the books were all there around me,
yes.
my only friends who were there in terms of these books. So I would sort of, buy, see, read. But so here the trigger was definitely Dr. Zakir Naik, the way in which those question answers, etc., were taking place, and the
What
way
was
the
it? I mean,
dialogue. Yeah.
was it sort of? Did you accidentally come across it on, let's say, YouTube? Did
Absolutely
somebody send
accidentally.
you? So
No, no, no.
go through that process. How what were you searching for, and why did you look at that particular trigger?
I was searching, I would be writing on YouTube, who's God,
Mm,
who's the creator, things like that. What is the purpose of our life? So in kind of those kinds of news feed, etc., I had got one of this where he was having a question answer session, and I didn't even know who he was. So I just usually dialogue appeals you rather than a monolithic, argument which is there. So question answer kind of a thing which was there. Alhamdulillah.
Sorry, carry
That
on. It's my good. Yeah.
I
That's okay.
really love it when I'm able to hear azan. I just love it so much
Alhamdulillah.
because here I'm not able to hear azan where I am. So
Alhamdulillah. No, no, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
So go ahead. So you're putting all these keywords into YouTube, searching for purpose of life, what is God, who
yes,
is God, and all of a sudden this strange video pops up or this strange recommendation pops up. Okay.
yes,
Can you remember what the
yes.
title was? Do you remember what the title was of,
Not
of what it was?
really. I don't know. I don't remember, but I did get to know that he told there that we have a Peace TV channel
Mm,
also. I
okay.
started looking for the Peace TV channel, started looking for the app maybe if I could get at so, but it was not running, so that was not operational at the time. So I
Okay.
was not able. So I thought, okay, let it be. Never mind. YouTube is good enough if I could sort of I bought some of the books online, soft copies of it, the question answers which were there. So I read through that, and those started appealing a lot. And there I, just felt that yes, this is first of all, there was no complication. Very simple, answers were just hitting to the what kind of questions which were being asked. They were not abstract. They were not too philosophical. Uh, the way I was finding in a lot of Hindu texts, they were not also in terms of just taking you away from it and saying you have all the power. The very flawed idea of empowerment which was provided. They were neither how Buddhism would totally nullify everything,
Hmm.
not like that. So here it started appealing me, and I felt maybe this is where I could get my answers. So I started reading from there. I started reading, listening to him, and then I thought, let me see what is Islam all about because I didn't have any clue of what Islam is. Of course I heard about it, but didn't know. I thought, let me figure out what is the core philosophy, who is a Muslim, what do they do, what kind of rituals do they have, what who's the god. And I didn't know anything about prophets at all. So then when I started reading about it, the core ideas and the basic, the entire, the way in which, even before coming to the five pillars, I would say the very idea of God which was presented was something which really appealed me, because that was something which had driven my journey of looking everywhere. So that was that when I started. And then again, that God is, that creator is one. Surah Ikhlas, which he talked about, and where
Hmm.
he said, kul hu Allahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid walam yulad walam yakul lahu. So I just felt that yes, of course, why not? God is definitely one. How can, because as you were asking me, were you looking for one God? I didn't know consciously whether I was actually looking for one God or not. But
Mm.
the kind of ideas which were there, they were not appealing. And here with Ikhlas,
Wow.
it just said it clearly that God is one, absolute. He begets not, and nor was he begotten, and there is nothing which is comparable to him. So this such precise, very very precise idea. I just, I started getting answers that yeah, in Hinduism we have entire family running of deities, children, grandchildren, whatever, like, cutting heads of children like that, whatever be the reason behind it. So here it was very simple, and it was said that no, the way it was said, and you have avatars, you have three
Mm.
manifestation of Brahman in Hinduism. Here it was said no, it cannot. The God, that supreme creator, is one. It is absolute. You can't divide that absolute into so many, the way it has been divided in Hinduism. So when I started reading and understanding about it through this, and of course, namaz etc came much later. First I wanted to get
Mhm,
the
mhm.
core idea about what is this, because I was going through so many. So I thought I don't want to indulge in another ritual where I don't understand the background of it. So
That's good.
so
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah,
I mean, let me sort of come in here because this is
yeah,
an important point, first of all. So, first of all, the point is that you recognized the simplicity in Islam, but Islam is not simplistic. This is a very important thing that we need
right.
to be aware of.
It
So,
is, it is
we
not.
have very, very deep thinking, very, very deep, actually, centuries of thought that have gone into sort of appreciating Islam. But at the core, it is something that appeals to the simplest of individuals to the smartest of individuals.
Absolutely.
And if a way of life is revealed from the creator of all of existence, then you would
That's what it
expect
is.
that, yeah, you would expect that this message should be at least understandable, or at least be able to be appreciated by whoever in whatever condition they're in, as long as all of their faculties are with them. So if if they're short of anything, Allah will treat them the way they are. But this is important for me. So I think this is the key thing, which is what resonated with you then was, first of all, the simplicity of sort of the message, but secondly, as educated as you were, this is what resonated with you, because the
Absolutely.
philosophy wasn't.
Absolutely. Because philosophy entangles you. You know, it's very good to have those kind of intellectual debates, get a little high, get
Mm,
that kind of, self intellectual gratification that people seek. But ultimately, after that debate, does does it change your life is the question. Is your
right.
day to day living changing or not? So what I was finding in Hindu's philosophical base was, no, it was not changing. It was too complicated to be able to come in its empirical practice in real life. And that was something which was something which I was, finding here, that yes, definitely, it's here it was saying that you have, that complete perfection, that uniqueness, that greatness which is associated with God, which has, and something which has no compromises to it. That one God is unique. It cannot have partners. There cannot be any equal. You cannot have rivals. You can't have mother, father, son, daughter, wives of gods and deities,
Mhm,
because
mhm.
that one is the one. That God alone is one who's worthy of all worship. He has all authority. He has all power over everything. This was something I was not getting in Hinduism, because Hinduism has so many deities, no? So you have to go to one or the other for whatever desire you have. Again, New Age would totally scrape it off. Christianity would have, Jesus to be the recourse for salvation, which again was not making sense to me. Buddhism would again nullify it. Sikhism would have Guru Bani, but
Mhm.
again not. So this was such crystal clear. It just felt to me, this is what I was looking for, that God cannot have human limitations. The way it said in Christianity, the seventh day, after resting on the seventh day, he created the universe. So here, it just appealed, yeah, definitely it can't be like that. The
It's
core
interesting. Yeah,
ideas, yeah.
it is. And
Yeah.
I remember Brother Hashim had a discussion. I mean, he has regularly these discussions, of course, at Speaker's Corner. But if you're fifth, I mean, when we had actually a program on this a little while ago on the fitra, if it's clouded and if you've somehow polluted it, then what is reasonable and sensible doesn't make sense to you anymore. And I think we see this quite often, right, in Speaker's Corner, where they come with the predetermined idea and then they justify it without listening to the logic that you present to them. So quite often,
Very
what you
true.
say, look, it's one, and they will say, no, I don't agree. It's one. It's 1 in 3, 3 in 1. Then you say, but how is that sensible? And they suspend all logic. And what I'm seeing with you, sister, is you didn't suspend logic. In fact, you were using that logic that Allah gave you, that rationality that Allah gave you, and you were using it to find Allah, to find God.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alhamdulillah.
You know?
One thing is, the intellect itself. Everyone's been given intellect, all humans. Alhamdulillah, we all have this faculty of reasoning. However, people misuse them many times. They are looking elsewhere when the truth is in front of you, when there is clearly the haqq in front of you. You would still go about doing what your forefathers were doing. And this is a habit, it's very difficult to change. And the older you grow, the difficult it gets mostly. And this is a danger in itself as well, because when you do not use the God given intellect, and when the truth is in front of you and you still continue rejecting it, that just shows that you're not even true to your own self. Because what if your head is telling you that this is wrong, there's definitely some red alert. There's this sign given to you internally, and you keep saying to yourself, no, my forefathers were right, that is wrong, even though it makes sense to you. And this is exactly what Islam is, isn't it? Islam gives presences to you. You have all the faculties, you have the free will, all of this, and this is all in your favor, but yet you will reject all of the truth which is in front of you and then go on for this. So I hear our Hindu friends, whenever we have these discussions, and I'm sure you have come across this as well, they say, oh, Hinduism is so complex, as
Exactly.
if that's a plus point. If God wanted you to have salvation, to have nirvana, to have moksha or anything, and he was kind and merciful, make it easy for you, not make it complex for you. Yes.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely. In fact, true. That's very
imagine you're
true.
teaching your
Yeah.
child and you say, hold on, this is very complex, you can't solve this equation. So make it easy for him. That's the best way he'll learn, not the other way around. Yeah, sorry, Sister Swati, go on.
Absolutely, absolutely, Brother Hashim.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what I am personally a very simple person, and I like that. I like things to be simple for me to be able to
straightforward. Yeah,
practice it. Yeah, to be able to practice, to be able to, as it is. I don't like complexity, which just takes you around the bush, and it just yields nothing. So here, I was finding that the message was crystal clear. It was very simple, and also the way, because most of the religions, when it will be said that we are very god fearing people, things like that, this new, I would also like to put in this one aspect, that the new age religion would usually say we are not god fearing, we are god loving. So there is no place for fear. Religions create fear among people. Let's get rid of that fear based religions which are there around. Let's bring a new religion which is based on love, harmony, brotherhood, that entire new world order, new age religion being part of that. So that was, that tries to appeal people who are not probably getting answers within religion. So they may think that, yeah, maybe let's everybody would say that, yeah, probably. But there is, as we know, certain fears are important for your survival, and that's how you need to ingrain that. But here they would say, in new age religion, let's not have, how can you have a god or a creator who's so whom you are fearing? But they don't understand the very idea how fear is used for your own good, and how that is used as a way of respect to that, to that creator.
absolutely. Yes.